Hey guys, Chip here. Thanks again for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about the Mawashi-Uke, or circle block. The circle block is found in every style of Okinawan karate. Let's put it this way, I've yet to come across a style that didn't include the circle block. And I think there's a really good reason for that. You see, the circle block is both very practical and highly effective in real-world situations. Today I want to share some feedback and insights that I think will help bring your circle block to the next level. Let me start by asking you a question. If I were to give you a shovel, like a shovel you'd use in your garden, and I asked you, which part of the shovel do you think is most valuable? Is it the tip that's made of metal, the blade that goes in and penetrates into the ground? Or would you say it's the long handle that allows you to strike, lift, and serve as a lever to move the soil? I think you'd say, well, they're both important. They're mutually dependent on one another to maximize the value of the tool. This is the same with the circle block. You see, a circle block has two pieces. One is the arm that makes the arc, and the other is the part that first receives the attack and deflects it. These two techniques make the circle block a formidable engagement tool. First is learning how to come through the middle. When you do a guide block, the goal is to always come through and occupy the center line. Let's just assume that the person that's trying to hit you is going for either your head or your neck or the center of your body. So when you do your guide block, it needs to sweep through the middle. So a drill I like to do is to make a guard, whether it's with open or closed hands, put another one right in the line of fire. So the attack would come right through here. And what I like to do is come through, slap, in return. So the drill would look like this. If you're doing a kata that set up a punch, for example, on the hip, it might be down to the side. This is great for beginners, but at some time, of course, we all must evolve, and this takes a tremendous amount of time to come back here. So my students and I often work on being able to come right back up, whether it's for a shuto, a blade hand strike, or some other technique. Now, another thing with a guide block is it's imperative that it doesn't interfere with the range of motion of the circle block. That is to say, one hand should not get in the way of the other and prevent it from doing its job. So when I position my guide block in the middle of my upper body and then I make my circle, you can see that the circle is able to move through its full range of motion. I can make it larger or smaller if necessary, but I'm not going to allow this guide block to interfere. I can move it higher, I can move it a little lower. I couldn't see using it much lower than this because, frankly, I'm not concerned about people punching me there. So when you do your guide block, try not to let it get in the way of the arm that makes the circle. Let's talk about timing for a second. The parry or guide block is exceptionally quick, and this is its primary benefit. It gets to the danger fast and redirects it off of the line of attack. That line of attack was going straight to your body, and now it's off. So some of the things I like to work on for timing are coordinating the guide block in the circular arm. So let me show you on a 4-count structure what that would look like. I would lower the hand, and it would start to make an arc down below. As it rose back up to the opposite hand, I would guide, clear, and then finish. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No one really struggles with moving their guide block quickly. It's a pretty simple technique, but when it comes to moving the circular arm more quickly, many people struggle with this. So again, the timing we're looking for is to have the circular arm chasing the opposite so that they can finish very quick. If I do it from a hands down position, it would look like this. up to the attack, my circular arm would follow, and then I'd open. So the guide hand needs to come in and out, very quick, like a pulse. The first technique, guiding the attack offline, and the second, taking control. It's important that both of these hands move as quickly as possible. Now, if we go back to the very start of our training, we all were taught that there were two primary reasons for blocking. One was to prevent ourselves from experiencing that danger, get out of the way so you don't get hit, and the second is to set up a counterattack. So if you're blocking and you don't need this guide hand, chances are you don't need to block. You could have simply attacked, or you could have moved to a superior position. But you really should ask yourself, why am I blocking things that aren't going to hit me? Having said that, I want to say that there are very, very few instances where I can justify doing a circle block without a support hand. If I'm blocking something and I don't need the support hand, chances are that technique was never going to hit me in the first place. And I simply don't want to be blocking things that aren't going to hit me. Let me share an example with you from my style. In many dojos, you see students practicing two-person sets, a prearranged exercise, or a yakusoku kumite. This involves one person attacking and another doing a prescribed defense. The problem is that a lot of people make attacks and there's never any intention of hitting the target, okay? None of us want to be jerks, of course. However, we do want to give our partner an opportunity to develop their techniques. So we need people to try to actually hit us if we want to make our blocks effective. If no one's trying to hit you, you're certainly not going to develop your technique.